Is it a buyer's market, a seller's market, or is it balanced in and around Coeur d'Alene in the real estate market? In this video, I will be going over the different price ranges and what we are looking at for inventory, what's closed in the last 30 days, giving us what type of market it currently is. Welcome back to my channel, Living North Idaho, where I discuss all things about real estate in and around Coeur d'Alene and living your best life in North Idaho. Now, some people will try to blanket the entire MLS and the entire market on saying what type of market it is, but you can't do that. You're going to have different buyers in this area in the $400,000 price range than in the $1 million price range. You're also going to have different sellers, different properties, and different amounts of time they are on the market. But sometimes life happens and people need to buy and sell depending on what happens with their life and not necessarily what's going on with the market, what's going on with the economy, or what interest rates are. So we can take a look at the entire MLS. And as of today, there are 1,816 active properties. In the last 30 days, 403 of them have closed, giving us 4.5 months of current inventory, which is a balanced market. However, if you're buying a home in the $400,000 range, wouldn't you want to know that actually a quarter of those homes that closed in the last 30 days were in that price range versus over 1 million there weren't as many? It would help you to negotiate on what you would like to offer the seller and what you're going against on other offers. Now, when we look at what market it is, we look at how many active homes are available between a certain price range. How many have closed within the last 30 days? Meaning, if no new homes come on the market, how long would it take for that price range to sell out with what's happened in the last 30 days? That then gives us how many months of inventory, and then that helps decide whether it's a buyer's market, seller's market, or balanced, depending on how quick that price range could sell out. So let's take a look at the different price brackets and see what it's looking like. Under 100,000, there are 27 active homes. In the last 30 days, 9 homes have successfully closed, giving us 3 months of inventory, which is a balanced market. $100,000 to $200,000 currently has 55 active homes, and in the last 30 days, 10 have successfully closed, giving us 5.5 months of current inventory, which is a balanced market. $200,000 to $300,000 currently has 58 active properties in that price range, and in the last 30 days, 16 have successfully closed, giving us 3.6 months of current inventory, which is a balanced market. Now, $300,000 to $400,000 has 131 active properties available, and in the last 30 days, 47 homes have successfully closed in that price range, giving us 2.7 months of inventory, which is a seller's market. Now, when going through some of these numbers, if your home is supposed to be priced in that $200,000 price range, you can't just list it in the over $300,000 price range and expect, because that's a seller's market, that it's going to get sold. You still have to be realistic because there's no urgency in today's market. If you're not priced right for the market conditions on where you should be, there's no urgency for buyers to make offers. If they don't think that your home is where it should be listed, they'll just pass it by and you'll just have to reduce over time. And one thing to note, a lot of the homes that are under that $300,000 price range kind of surprises a lot of people because they would think that that would be a very active price range in our area, which it is. There are a fair amount of buyers in that range. However, it doesn't have to do with the buyers specifically. It has to do with the condition of the home and the type of homes that are selling in those price ranges. And what I mean by that is a lot of those homes under that price range can't get all types of financing. They may not be able to get FHA or VA. It may be only a cash sale or conventional. Therefore, it limits the pool of buyers that can actually purchase those properties. Also, a lot of those properties can be manufactured homes on leased land, which our leased lots have gone up dramatically, causing people to not to be able to afford those, or those are also cash sales. So you're not going to have as many buyers that can necessarily buy that type of property. And this is why you should always use a local full-time real estate agent that knows the market and can tell you whether or not a home is a good deal and you need to move quickly, or what it should actually be priced at and where you should maybe offer. $400,000 to $500,000 currently has 202 active properties for sale. In the last 30 days, 96 homes have closed in this price range, giving us 2.1 months of inventory, which is a seller's market. $500,000 to $600,000 currently has 222 active properties for sale. In the last 30 days, 74 homes have closed, giving us 3 months of inventory, which is a balanced market. $600,000 to $700,000 currently has 197 active homes for sale. In the last 30 days, 52 homes have successfully closed, giving us 3.7 months of inventory. That is a balanced market. $700,000 to $800,000 currently has 151 active homes for sale. In the last 30 days, 37 homes have successfully closed, giving us 4 months of inventory, which is a balanced market. $800,000 to $900,000 currently has 101 active homes for sale in that price range. The last 30 days, 10 homes have successfully closed, giving us just over 10 months of inventory, which is a buyer's market. $900,000 to $1 million currently has 81 active properties, and 16 have successfully closed within the last 30 days, giving us 5 months of inventory, which is a balanced market. $1 million to $2 million currently has 348 active homes for sale. There have been 43 homes within the last 30 days that have successfully closed within this price range, giving us 8 months of inventory, which is a buyer's market. $2 million to $3 million. There are currently 93 active properties in our MLS, and there have been 4 that successfully closed within the last 30 days, giving us over 23 months of inventory within that price range, making that a buyer's market. Over $3 million currently has 110 active properties for sale in that price range, and 2 have successfully closed within the last 30 days, giving us 55 months of inventory within that price range, making that a buyer's market. Now, why are these numbers helpful when you're looking at the market? Depends on whether you are a buyer or a seller. If you are a seller within one of these ranges, you may need to negotiate a little bit more depending on which range you're at. Or if you're within a specific range where it's in your favor, you may be able to hold tighter to your price and get it. Versus if you're one where it's a buyer's market, you may need to negotiate more. Also had a seller look, and because of the amount of inventory that was over a certain price range, we decided to list it just right under that price range to give us a better chance for it to sell. And if you're a buyer, obviously if you're looking for $1 million, there's going to be a lot of properties you can look for and find and negotiate against, versus if you're looking at homes between $400,000 and $600,000. There's going to be a lot more competition in those price ranges. If you have any questions about real estate in and around Coeur d'Alene, please reach out. My name is Amanda Kuespert. I'm with the Phenix Agency.